Distance Nerding.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Oh yes, it is time. We are here. You are now experiencing Distance Nerding. I'm Young Phil. He's the Jamez 5000, and
we are here to nerd
together.
Nailed it. I think we nailed it for the 247th time. Oh my god, talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you got to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, guys. Just make sure it helps us out. Listen on any podcast app, any of the podcast apps that you're listening on or anything like that. Leave us a review. Remember, 5 stars helps us so much. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, everywhere at Distance Nerding. Oh, man, we are ready to go. We're ready to have some fun. Jamez, are you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let's get into this.
The first time in a long time. It's a solo show, just me and Jamez tonight, and we're going to bring it up. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the worst kept secret on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching the Distance Nerding Podcast.
Doop.
Yeah. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what we got on deck. This week on deck, we've got starting rumors. Of course, quick bites. Get all that news in there. And then we're going to be discussing the state of Hollywood and movie studios. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the trend up. And of course, at the end of the show, as always, the Geek End update. But before we get into all of that, all those fun things, but first, let me get a shout out. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this show is brought to you by the good folks over at Dubby. That's right. Dubby is a brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugars, no fillers, no artificial colors or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. Use the code NERDING10. Get 10% off your order. That is NERDING10. You will get 10% off your order. Deliciousness, all the good flavors. Chainsaw Man is out in theaters right now. There's a Chainsaw Man movie out there, and they just dropped a Chainsaw Man flavor. So, guys, now is the time to invest in some Dubby. Get in on this Dubby craze. It is the way to go. Jamez?
I want to try some of that pre-made Dubby. You know, the ones they sell in cans now? I want some of that. I haven't found any, but I'm going to find some.
So I don't think they're selling it in stores. You have to get it from Dubby's website as of right now. But I think the deal is they're trying to get it into stores. But yeah, it's I haven't tried them just because you have to buy them in like a case, and I don't think I'm gonna buy.
It's a lot of Dubby. You already have a lot of Dubby. That's a lot more Dubby.
That would be me getting yelled at by Jackie because I bought a case of Dubby. She's okay with it because I make the tubs, but.
You know what she's not going to yell at you for? She's not going to yell at you because Distance Nerding is part of the Geek Freaks Network. If you're deep into the lore or discovering your latest binge, building Lego, debating casting choices, or just still jaw-dropped on a plot twist of your favorite show, the Geek Freaks Network has got you covered. Your fandom, your community, your people. Check out Geek Freaks Network at gfpods.com.
That's right. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the chat here. But yes, guys, head over to GF Pods. It is definitely an amazing place to check things out. If you don't already listen to all the shows on there, what are you waiting on? Jamez, are you caught up on all the Geek Freaks shows right now?
I listen to a lot of different Geek Freak shows, but Fandom Portals is my jam these days. Challenge accepted is always right there. But you know what I also do? I also check out a lot of the shorts and the reels that the Geek Freaks is putting out. So that's always good.
Have you listened to the Gen V season finale Challenge Accepted?
No, I haven't watched that one yet because I just finished Gen V.
You just finished Gen V. Oh man. On another time, maybe we'll make a short for it or something like that. But like, man, I gotta get your opinion on Gen V because it definitely set up a lot of implications for the next season of The Boys.
Yeah.
And for everybody out there, if you guys want to get a really good in-depth take on the entire season, go check out Challenge Accepted. Listen to Frank and Thomas's take on Gen V and that season finale. It was great. And I agree with a lot of the things that they say. So that, and then the main show is always good. So check all that stuff out, guys.
Awesome.
All right, well, let's jump right into this. Guys, it's time to get banned in Belarus. Time to start some rumors. Let's do this.
Belarus loves us so much.
That's right. They love us. They love us in Belarus. Belarus is, it's a great place. Maybe unban us in Belarus.
Name the capital of Belarus right now. Go.
And, all I know is a dictator runs that place. So I mean,
okay. All right, let's keep it moving.
Ya Seb Ya in classic Rocky IV fashion.
No, it goes Ya Seb Ya.
Ya
Seb Ya.
Oh God. Okay, now that's like running back to me.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Eternia's original hero might be making a comeback. Dolph Lundgren, who played He-Man in 1987, the year that I was born, Masters of the Universe film, dropped a major hint that he could appear in Amazon MGM's upcoming reboot. Lundgren was asked if he's involved in the new Masters of the Universe movie, and his response practically confirmed it with a smile, saying, "Maybe, yeah. You will have to check it out when it comes out. Masters of the Universe will bring the power back to theaters on June 5th, 2026. That was not speaking in Lundgren voice. All right. Tacos.
I like
it. Tacos on the table. Will Dolph go another round in Masters of the Universe in their universe?
Universe. You know, the way he put that, I think he's in it. He's going to be something in this movie, because if he wasn't in it, he'd be like, "Nah, I'm not in it. They didn't ask me. I'm butthurt. They didn't ask me to be in Punisher either." And so I think he's going to be in it, because he was like, "Yeah, go check out the movie." Yeah. Yes, yeah.
And I mean, I know they're doing a lot of Easter eggs for stuff like that. Like they're throwing in a lot of like in-universe Easter eggs and things like that. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I don't think that Dolph is, obviously he's not playing He-Man. Like he's not coming in and playing anything like that. But like maybe, I don't know, maybe Dolph comes in and he plays, what was his dad's name? King.
What was his name? I forgot his name. The King. The King. Maybe it's the King.
Yeah, like maybe he comes in and he plays the King.
Yeah, it could be.
Especially like after Dolph Lundgren, we know that he can play kind of epic characters like that still, because he did that in Aquaman.
And that's right. And he looked kind of big.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a bunch of suit on, just like Jason Momoa, but he looked pretty big still.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. All right. Maybe he'll be the Masters of the Universe, the merman guy.
Oh, merman. Like he could be,
maybe he'll be merman.
It's King Randor. So like, what if he came in and he played King Randor?
That's not bad. I like that.
It would be kind of cool if he came in and played King Randor, right? Like, so my tacos are on the table. I 100% believe that if not a mainstay character, he's at least coming in for some type of cameo with the way that he talked about it. So
I agree. My Russian borscht tacos are on the table. Yes.
Isn't he some kind of like European, not Russian?
Rocky IV, he was, come on.
Well, I know he played a Russian. He played Ivan Drago. I know that, but I'm saying like, isn't he damn it, it's another country that starts with a B.
Belarus. He's from Belarus? What?
No, Belgian. Isn't he
Small
Belgian?
world. Oh, is he? No, you're thinking of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I might be. Anyways, he might be Swedish actually.
I think you're right there.
Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. We have a brave director teasing a bold rumor. Ooh. The DC Universe is getting a new version of Batman with the brave and the bold. Fans have been left waiting for real updates because they have been not getting any at all. Now, it looks like that wait for information might be coming to an end thanks to director Andy Muschietti. Muschietti. Variety asked about the status of the movie. Andy replied, "We have to wait a couple of months to start talking about it." Then, realizing he might have said too much, he laughed and said, "I screwed it already." Tacos on the table. Will we be getting a Batman update, or is it just a brave and bold tease?
I honestly, tacos on the table. I think he screwed it up. I think he caught it and he was like, "Oh, a couple." Like, oh, he screwed it up. But he's okay. Like, James Gunn's not gonna get mad at him. He's gonna get a slap on the hand and be like, "Okay, move on.
Yeah.
We're okay." But I think this goes into James Gunn kind of trying to pace the amount of news dropping for DC. Like, hey, let's not step on each other's toes, because we went through this whole thing of, we're talking about Superman before it was coming out, but then we're also talking about Creature Commandos, and then people were speculating on Batman and the Batman Part 2, and all this stuff. So it was super confusing. So I think they're just kind of being like, let's all play hush. Let not saying that hush is going to be in the Batman, but let's all be quiet, and we'll push one project at a time.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I 100% agree. And in that whole thing, I think that Andy Muschietti probably dropped more than he was supposed to. I think what James was trying to do was kind of just do like a sudden drop and make people think like, oh yeah, no, we have nothing. We're not planning anything. And then all of a sudden drop a trailer like, yeah, we told you nothing was happening. This is what's happening right here. And like, just kind of like drop who's playing who and who's coming in as what and everything like that. And just kind of like drop a bunch of news on us all at once. Just because he's just going to build sudden hype, because James Gunn is known for doing stuff like that. So I don't see it being, I feel like Andy just screwed up because he was just like excited about it and was like, oh yeah, shit, we haven't said anything about this yet. Fuck.
Or he's like, finally, we're getting ready to talk about it. He's like, oops, can't talk about it.
Right. So I'm with that. My tacos are on the table.
I like it.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. James Gunn is souping up Supergirl. The latest DCU reports suggest that Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, is getting a little extra Superman action. The rumor says the upcoming film has entered a new round of reshoots, and they feature David Cornsweet's Superman. The film originally wrapped principal photography back in May, but with cameras rolling again this week for the additional scenes involving the Man of Steel, potentially expanding the on-screen connection between Kara Zor-El and Clark Kent in the DCU. Adding some fuel to the Superman rumor fire, fans noticed that the Superman costume on display at the Warner Brothers studio tour had been removed. A sign left in its place read, "Superman costume currently being used by production." Tacos on the table. Are we doubling the Kryptonian count for the next chapter of the DCU?
Oh, my tacos are on the table for this one. I think they're gonna treat this Superman, David Cornsweet's Superman, a little bit differently. I don't think he's gonna be this pedestal, character that like is untouchable and not gonna be in any project. I think he's gonna be sprinkled in, kind of like how we saw Supergirl at the very end of the Superman movie. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna be like that, where he may come in for a cameo. I don't think he's gonna be like a co-star in this movie, but I think he's gonna pop in and out, and I think James Gunn's gonna create that kind of fluidity between all the different shows that are happening, all the different projects. He's gonna slowly bring people in and let them come in and out. What do you think about Cornsweet being in Supergirl?
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, you have the relationship between David Cornsweet's Superman and Kara Zor-El already. Like the relationship was built at the end of Superman, so it does not make sense to have Cal show up, and like maybe there's like a fight that happens and he comes and helps, or maybe it's the other side of the coin for that scene at the end of Superman. Like maybe they expand on that, because remember, this movie is supposed to take place at the same time that Superman was happening.
Ah, okay.
Right.
All right. That makes sense.
She shows back up at the end of Superman, right? And is like, she's shit faced and is like, "Where's my dog?" Right. And so, maybe there is, maybe he came back to film a scene that was like that they're going to use at the beginning of the movie, where it's like Clark saying bye to Kara and saying, "I'll take care of your dog, don't worry about it." Or something at the end where it's the other side of that coin. It's expanding on that scene where she goes, "Where's my dog?" And then, how was your vacation? And she like looks at him, and it's not a recap of, she's not going to explain what happened in the movie, but it's like one of those smirky smiles that's like, she's got a story to tell Clark because you just watched that story.
Right.
And the movie ends on that. Like that's what I think it's going to be. I think it's either going to be something at the beginning, or it's going to be a tale at the end.
I want to know if they're going to do, like, tonally, Superman is very like good for the entire family up until when Kara Zor-El shows up and she calls him a bitch. You know, like, tonally, is this movie, is the Supergirl movie, is she going to be dropping, F bombs and, B bombs and calling Superman? Who gets to call Superman a bitch? She's the only person in the universe that gets to call Superman a bitch.
Because technically she's stronger than him. So it's like,
I mean, hey, she's got a cool coat too. So
absolutely. So yeah, let's continue on. I've got another story to move on to here. The Spidey single is blowing up this week, because it really is. We got another batch of exciting set photos from Spider-Man Brand New Day. The latest images give us our first look at Sadie Sink in costume, a battered Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and even a mysterious female character who could be the movie's secret villain. The biggest reveal from the round of set photos is Sadie Sink, who may be playing a street-level character rumored to be the Punisher's sidekick, which, be on the lookout, guys. We might have a video explaining that character coming pretty soon. Then, there are photos featuring Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner being loaded into an emergency vehicle looking injured. Why would someone who can turn into the Hulk need medical attention? Just think about that, guys. It's a thought to put in your head, right? Another image shows an unidentified woman confronting a group of extras on set. The social media quickly lit up with the theories that she could be the film's mysterious female villain. Ooh. The secrecy around the appearance has fans speculating about everything from Black Cat to a new original antagonist created specifically for the MCU. So tacos on the table, Sadie Sink's role, bruised up Banner, bruised up Banner. Okay. And the mysterious maiden. What are your Spidey senses saying, James?
My tacos are on the table for all this, because it feels like Spider-Man can do anything right now. This brand new day movie can be like, let's grab Punisher, let's grab the Hulk, let's make the Hulk get hurt, let's make Sadie Sink 17 different characters, then they'll all be justified. Like, they're gonna do anything that they want to do. Let's have Tom Holland waving to the fans when they're sneaking fan film while things are being shot. Like, this movie is completely different. I don't know what is going to happen in the movie, and I have no. I don't think they're going to hold back. I think this is Sony going to be like, you know what, do whatever you got to do. Like, go make us a big, huge movie. This honestly could be our last.
Yeah. I see that. And I mean, again, there's a lot of speculation on who Sadie Sink is going to play based on the photos and what she's wearing. I know me and Jen were talking about this a couple weeks ago, or last week. We both are in agreement that we think this is Rachel Cole Alves, who is technically the second Punisher. She's been known as Lady Punisher. She ran with Frank for the longest time. former Marine, former she's got a lot of tragedy in herself. Again, we're gonna be having we have a video that's gonna be coming out hopefully sometime this week of an explainer on Rachel Cole Alves and why we think, not why we think it's good, like that Sadie Sink is gonna be that, but if Sadie Sink is playing Rachel Cole Alves, then at least you guys, all the nerds out there, will know who she is ahead of time. And yeah, and just based on the outfit that she's wearing, she looks very Rachel Cole Alves.
Right. And the red hair.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like she's wearing some kind of shirt that may have like the spray painted Punisher logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. I mean, I think that is a more, we kind of talked about this the other week. That's a more plausible, I can't even think of the word. That's a more believable role than I think like Phoenix, Jean Grey. I don't think they're going to go that deep.
Yeah,
with
I agree.
What's going to happen in Spider-Man.
Because a lot of people are like, the speculation is, oh, she's going to play Mary Jane Parker or Mary Jane Watson. She's not Parker yet. Mary Jane Watson, or she's going to play the on-screen version of Gwen Stacy, or she might be playing Firestarter. Like there's so many characters that everybody's saying that she might be. And based on these set photos, I honestly think that she's going to be Rachel Cole Alves.
Yeah,
it makes sense. She's not a major character, but at the same time, she's also not a minor character. This is a character that could show up in all of these ground level shows, and especially if anything in this is setting up anything for Daredevil season 2, for Born Again season 2. If they have a setup that's happening in this, right, then you have Frank Castle, you have Rachel Cole Alves, and they'll be fighting alongside with Daredevil in season 2 to fight Kingpin, which again, that's a really good setup if that's what they're going to do. And that makes the world that much more cohesive. You know what I mean?
My tacos are on the table for that. I really like that she gets added to the, Daredevil season 2 or the Punisher. Maybe she gets introduced in the Punisher special. Who knows? But
that's the thing is I know they wrap Principal on the Punisher special, but like, are they is that coming out before Spider-Man?
That I don't know. That we'll have to look up.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. In the meantime, let's go ahead and move on to this last rumor that we have here. Marvel Studios has been stirring the pot, or maybe the cauldron. This time, it's all about Scarlet Witch. Over the past week, the studio's official social media accounts have been posting clips featuring Wanda Maximoff, which has fans wondering, are they getting ready for Elizabeth Olsen's return in Vision Quest? The timing of Marvel's recent Scarlet Witch posts seems deliberate. And with Vision Quest updates fresh out of New York Comic-Con, fans are connecting the dots. During a recent interview with InStyle, Olsen lit up while describing the experience of working on those massive productions. And goofy, it's ridiculous, she said with a laugh. We're grown people behaving like children on a playground. We're flying, we're shooting things out of our hands, and it's a character that I've gotten to return to so many times over 10 years. It's good to put her down, and then I miss her, and I want her back. I jump at the opportunity to be in her shoes again. Last bit of Scarlet Witch news. Elizabeth Olsen has made it clear that she's done signing on to big studio films unless they're destined for the big screen. So, with that being said, tacos on the table. Has Elizabeth Olsen got us trapped in her hex? Is the Scarlet Witch returning?
My tacos are on the table. You know what she's not talking about anymore? She's not talking about money or getting paid.
Yeah.
I think Disney's got her like, all right, you got it. Whatever you want, we'll make it happen as long as you come back. Keep your mouth shut, and we'll get you in a bunch of different projects, and we're good to go. You just gotta play ball with us, right? And I totally think she's doing that. She's, what did she say? She recorded the Marvel Zombies like years ago.
Yeah.
you know, so she's on board. There's a long-term Kevin Feige plan that she's aware of, that we're not aware of, that we're always rumoring and speculating on, but I think she's on board for the long haul. So yes, she's in. Yes, she's going to be Scarlet Witch over and over again. I think that last bit of piece of news about big studio things, I think that was her saying like, I also like to do independent films, you know,
Yeah.
but like I can do both. Like she likes to do indie, you know, artsy films, but also she likes to do Scarlet Witch, big budget stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, like, she's been able to do more productions lately, especially because her character's been kind of missing for a little while. But I mean, at the same time, she has talked about like storylines that she would like to revisit. She has talked about
Mhm.
wanting to be Scarlet Witch. We know that she's in contract for at least 3 more productions. Now I don't know if Zombies counts as one of those.
I don't think so because she totally forgot she was even in it.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, that's the thing is she had signed on to she contracted to do 3 more projects with Marvel after
Mhm.
she had already done um um Doctor Strange,
Oh yeah, the Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness. So because like again, it doesn't like specifically say what projects they were. It just said that she signed on for 3 more projects with Marvel. Zombies could have been one of those.
Yeah, I could see that.
Mhm. But at the same
Even if it's just like a few lines, because I think they wanted her for the original What If episode, but I think she was still in contract negotiations.
Yeah,
But well,
yeah, and now again, it would be so dope to lead up to getting some kind of House of M, especially because she has said that she wants to do House of M. The thing is we need to establish the X-Men before we can do that, so it's not gonna be until after, Secret Wars.
I was thinking about this based on our last conversation about like how are we going to get to House of M
Mhm.
with this situation. I think she's going to end up doing House of M, though I don't think they're going to involve Magneto.
But then it doesn't work if Magneto's not a part of it.
I think they're going to find a way. I think it's just going to be her and her crazy powers and what she's something's going to happen to her kids and she's going to be like I want my kids back. Maybe she's going to blame mutants. I don't know what it is, but I feel like we've gone so far away from World War II and Magneto's origin story. I don't know if they have to retell it, but I think they're going to find a way to get Scarlet Witch to stand on her own. And they're doing a great job doing it. Like she's been part of so many projects. So I think there's that was what I was just thinking it, you know, I think based on last week. It's like I think they're going to get away from Magneto. I think they are.
I will see my change on that. What I think is going to happen is after Secret Wars, once they merge all the universes, I think towards the end of Secret Wars, you're going to find out that you know Magneto is their actual father. So when the universe, or maybe like the person who played their dad, ends up playing Magneto.
The person Oh, you mean in like the Avengers
In the
movies?
Avengers movies, you know, like because you do get a glimpse of her father. You know, so maybe you do get that person who ends up playing her dad, or maybe they, you know, they pull a peacemaker and they like, you know, do some revisionist history, and it's like she remembers, and Magneto is her father in their universe, but when
Yeah.
universes merge, he's Magneto.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know, and that leads into like you establish that relationship, and that leads into you start doing X-Men projects, and now you can do House of M.
I see that. I can see that. I can see that. Though, you know what's funny? As you were saying that, like with DC, like retconning Peacemaker and even that end scene with the JLA or you know Superman and Wonder Woman, that sort of thing. I was like, I'm okay with that. I'm like, okay, James Gunn, you do what you do. You be you. It's your universe. We're just living in it. But if you apply that same thing to Marvel, I'd be like, no, no, no. You don't get to do that. We're living in one timeline, bro. It's one continuity. You know, like I can't let Marvel get away with something like that to retcon something. Though I do hear there's a rumor that maybe Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark may be not actually a Stark. But anyway, that's some rabbit hole speculation. But that's we're
Yeah,
not
now,
gonna talk
and like I said, I don't want to jump too much into this, but just like a tease for people to go and look it up. But I mean, if you haven't checked out Superior Iron Man, go check out Superior Iron Man because in Superior Iron Man, it is an alternate universe. Sorry, my hand is moving my table. It is an alternate universe where Doctor Doom is Tony Stark in another universe. And he uses that to his advantage. We've been saying it on the show for a while now that I think this is Iron Man because it's going to be Doctor Doom using the fact that he looks like Tony Stark in this universe to get the Avengers to do what he wants. And then once they finally realize, oh, we're doing bad stuff, it's like too late already. And Doom is going to have the upper hand because of that. I think they are going to take elements of Superior Iron Man and use that in this universe.
Yep. I think if anything, we've learned there's not going to be a straight adaptation
Yeah,
of the comics or whatever comic storyline there is. You know,
yeah,
everything is adapted for the MCU to make it, I don't know, original or
yeah,
make it owned by the MCU, not just like Marvel Comics is the scripts. So
yeah. And like I said, they're going to use elements of it. So
yeah.
let's continue on here, guys. That is the end of the rumors. Let's move into this next segment, guys. It's time for the download. Let's get into the news.
For more news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerd post on Facebook and let us know what you're nerding out on, including you, Geek Freaks Network, and let us know what you're nerding out on.
That's
All right,
right.
let's dive into this. Stranger Things finale will be a monster cry. Oh my goodness. The Duffer Brothers say fans will cry in front of strangers during the theatrical finale of Stranger Things season 5. Joseph Quinn's Eddie Munson is officially dead and 2 of the final episodes are pure monster mayhem. One was the most insane shoot of their lives, they said. Hawkins is going out swinging and nobody's making it through dry-eyed. Will you see the finale in theaters? What do you think, young fella? You going to go check it out?
I 100% am. And here's the thing. We've been speculating on this for the last 2 weeks. I know on Geek Freaks they were speculating on this. This is official. It is going to be in theaters. And that's the whole thing is I think what they're doing is I've got to go double check on the source, but I think what they're doing is they're doing a simultaneous release. So it's going to be like K-pop Demon Hunters, like we were saying like last time. It's something that is going to be available on Netflix, but then also something that you have the option to go see in theaters. And especially if it's something that's meant to be seen in theaters, I think a lot of people are going to spend money to go see this.
I totally agree. I think they're going to treat it as like a movie premiere, red carpet, this and everything. Like they're going to get some demogorgons walking the red carpet and whatnot, some cosplayers. I think they're going to treat it as like a big time movie event.
Right.
So
Shout out to Matt Aguilar in the chat right now. He said he's definitely going to go catch it in theaters.
the Swagular going to go to the movie theaters. Okay. All right. You know, I want to see this in theaters, but I don't know if I could wait.
No, I
You know,
hear you.
like if they say like this is gonna drop at say mid, what's gonna stop me from like I can turn this on right now or I can wait until when I can go see this in theaters like the next day.
But again, I think it's going to be like K-pop Demon Hunters because think of it like for you, Jamez, like you specifically have seen K-pop Demon Hunters multiple times on screen, but you've also seen it in theaters, and it's like, did it diminish your experience seeing it on the small screen before seeing it in theaters?
I get what you're saying there. But I'm just saying like the first time seeing the finale. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
seeing it. Am I gonna be able to wait? I don't know if I can wait.
yeah, I hear you, man. I get what you're saying. I'm probably gonna do both. I'm probably gonna go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm probably gonna watch it and then go see it in theaters because the experience is gonna be different, and it's also gonna be an experience that you have with other people, which makes that experience completely different from watching it at home. I know specifically Jackie. Jackie's into Stranger Things. She likes watching Stranger Things, so
Mhm.
I know that Jackie is probably going to want to watch it at home because she doesn't like going to the movies. But then for me, it's like, cool, this is great. If it's as long as it's like as good as I'm anticipating it to be, I'm probably going to go see it in theaters because it's like I want that experience. I want that
Yeah.
popcorn, that candy, that hanging out in the theater with a bunch of other people watching this finale. And it's supposed to be a 2-hour finale. So why would I not want to go see it in theaters?
Right. And the popcorn's better at
Oh,
the
absolutely.
movie theater. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah, way better than the popcorn I make at home. I mean, I air pop my popcorn and I
Okay.
put fresh butter and whatnot, but I mean,
All
it's
right,
n-
Gordon Ramsay, just relax.
it's
Let's
not the same. So, let's go ahead and
I'll
move
tell
on.
you what, you know what we should do? Let's take a little poll on Instagram or something.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we rent out a theater or something like that. And
Oh,
that'll force us to like, okay, we have to save this because we bought a damn theater. So we'll save watching this at midnight and go watch it in the theater together and, you know, eat popcorn and maybe somebody will come dressed as the Gorgon and we'll throw popcorn at the Demigorgon or something like that. So maybe, maybe
I'm writing it down right now.
write it down. Okay, I'm gonna move on.
All right. Sorry.
Back to high school as Carrie Rapp's TV adaptation. I forgot about Carrie. It was coming out. Mike Flanagan calls his Carrie series one of my favorite projects ever. As filming Raps, expect psychological horror with heart and blood and a lot of blood, and then maybe more blood because it's Carrie. Amazon's betting the big one on this. Amazon's going to be the queen of the prom on this one.
I can see that. The show is interesting. I mean, like, everybody is going and doing this right now. Like, kind of on the horror side, everybody is kind of doing a prequel series um to something that's there. I think this series in particular is a retelling of Carrie.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Welcome to Derry's out right now, right? And like everybody's raving over the first episode. Camp Crystal Lake is going to be coming out on FX pretty soon. Like we're getting all these shows that are doing a long form version of the things that we all grew up loving.
Mhm.
I I have been happy so far with the quality of things that Amazon puts out. So I think I'm a little more excited for this than I am other things. That's why Alien Earth, Geek Freaks in the chat right now saying Alien Earth. That's another good example of a kind of prequel for a horror series, So I'm definitely ready to see this, mainly just because I want to see that take. I want to see a new take on this. Plus, it's supposed to be something that is closer to the book. And I'm always more excited for things that are more willing to go into the intricacies that the books have. So
Yeah, I agree. I think streaming platforms give give IP like this a chance to do it right in the
yeah,
fans' eyes. Like, maybe it's a movie. You only have 2 hours to do a movie, but like turning this into a series where you can tell a long form story. Stuff that's in the. What do we always hear about? People that read a book and then go see the movie, like, oh, the book was better. There's so much more. Blah blah blah. Like the series, you get to do this. Same thing. Like Welcome to Derry. I've heard a lot of good things about that. I'm not gonna see it. One, because I'm scared. Two, I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm not gonna watch it. But I heard it's really good. I
yeah.
heard it's really good.
I've heard good things, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it. Everybody on the horror side that we all know, the DeLongs are really into it. They've already watched it. Sack Deadpool and Anne, they've all watched it,
Hmm.
and they've all said that it's good. They've all said that it is something that is very much in the vein of it, but like it to an extent, it's scarier, and that makes me more interested in it. So
I like it. All right, let's keep going here. All right, Sarah Michelle Gellar talks reboot. You ready for this?
Yeah, I kind of am.
Geller says you don't need to watch the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer to enjoy the reboot, but longtime fans might catch deeper emotional threads, new Slayers, new vamps, and same stakes. Now, here's a question. How would you modernize the Buffy reboot?
I don't think there's a lot of modernization that needs to happen with a Buffy reboot, just because for the most part, it's use whatever technology is available, use whatever is available. For the most part, again, with Buffy and the way that she kind of operates, she doesn't really rely on a lot of new technology because kind of like the oldies are the goodies, right? It's a stake to the heart, and that's what goes. But like, that delivery system, like what if she has more of like a crossbow with stakes, or she has, kind of like other things. I don't think that there's going to be a lot of kind of like adaptation to newer things, aside from maybe she can track vampires now with like GPS and stuff.
Oh, you're like technology wise, like what is it going to improve on? I was talking about like story in general. Like how are they going to improve the story? Like how Kevin Smith took the original Masters of the Universe,
Mm.
said, I love this. Now I'm going to elevate it and tell an extended version of the story.
On that level, I feel like, I mean, we already know the majority of the story is her teaching a new Slayer, right? And activating the next generation of Slayers. I think that a lot of this, I think Sarah Michelle Gellar, her whole role in this is a mentor. I don't think it's going to revolve around her. I think it's going to revolve around the new character. But she's going to be kind of like jumping in every now and then. There's probably going to be some good action scenes with her, like showing her like, this is how you do it,
Mhm.
and I think that that's kind of, we don't, everybody wants to see Buffy, but at the same time, if it's a new generation, I don't want it to be oversaturated with Buffy. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a way to solve that. I think they can bring in old characters from the original story, but again, raising the stakes. Get it? Stakes.
I,
Vampire. Get it? See what I did there? Slayers. Uh, if they start bringing in some of the old cast, but to make it a little bit more interesting, if they start killing off some of the old cast, and be like, okay, here's your farewell, and next thing you know, this new Slayer has to take things seriously.
Slayer.
She can't screw up, because people are dying. Buffy's friends are dying.
Right. Right. No, again, I like the idea of revamping the story for another
Revamping.
revamping. Yeah. Oh yeah. For the next generation, and just telling this, retelling the story so that another generation of people can enjoy these stories. Because in the 80s we had the movies, in the 90s, or the movie in the 90s we had the TV show, and now in the 2020s, almost like fucking 30 years later, we're getting, a new revamp and another generation of Slayers.
I like it. I like it. All right, let's keep it going. The Fantastic First Family steps onto Disney Plus. Here we go. Marvel's Fantastic Four First Steps finally gets its Disney Plus premiere date. It's about time. It will also be available in IMAX enhanced mode, offering an expanded aspect ratio for a more immersive experience. Oh, kind of interesting. All right. Stretchy science meets cosmic setup. Fantastic Four First Steps launches onto Disney Plus Wednesday, November 5th, 2025. That's like a week away, right? Yeah, it's like a week.
Yeah, it's about a week away. They're pulling a Netflix on this. Essentially, the idea is what they're doing is they're waiting and they're holding it to the chest until the last moment to say, "Hey, it's coming out," and then you get excited. I love the idea that they're doing an IMAX thing, because if you have like a home theater, like you have like a projector or something like that, you can like straight up do a wraparound, and that's it's actually a pretty cool idea to launch it that way.
Yeah. I think the release date sort of has something to do with Superman coming to HBO Max. HBO Max really closed that window for Superman and was like, "Hey, we're gonna put this." It'd still be in theaters almost, but they were like, "Let's bring it to HBO Max because of Peacemaker," and that like theater to streaming window became super short. I think I think Disney was like, "Crap," like our movie came out like a week or two later, but we haven't put it out. We got to get this out. Disney Plus still needs to be valuable somehow,
Mhm.
but like what are we gonna do? We don't have anything really planned. Let's put this out. Honestly, I think they were gonna wait till like December for that, Christmas rush, but they put it out beginning of November.
Mhm.
Okay, as long as you put it out, I'm happy for you, Disney Plus.
Yeah, and it's also it's almost like they're bypassing physical media at this point.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mhm. 'Cause
That's probably a good idea because whoever's gonna buy this, physical media wise, steel book or whatever it may be, they're gonna buy it anyway, and
right,
they're gonna wait till Black Friday to buy it, whether it's streaming or not streaming. People just want to buy their thing. They want that tangible piece.
right.
Not me.
I'm gonna watch it streaming. I mean, certain movies I will go out and buy. So like Fantastic Four, Superman, movies like that, like tentpole movies, I'm probably gonna buy. But outside of that, I mean, yeah.
Look at you buying things like you don't got kids, man. I gotta pay for like Lunchables. I gotta pay for Uncrustables. Anything with ables in it, I gotta buy. Gotta buy
Right.
Go-Gurts.
The BooBoos.
Labubu's. You know how expensive Labubu's are?
Yeah. Super, super expensive.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, dad, when you get your, twin daughters Labubu's and your son.
Yeah. We went to the Pop Mart store, side quest. I went to the Pop Mart store in the mall,
Mhm.
and I don't know why we just got caught up with it and we let them go ham. Next thing you know, like we have like 2 Lububus each and then some clothing or some other crap. I don't even know. It's just there goes a car payment out the window. Like I hope we're gonna have a car next month because we just bought a bunch of Labubus. Can we take the little Labubus? Can we ride on their backs? I don't know. Anyways, sorry.
You get that.
All right, let's keep it going. Ahsoka teasing season 2 arc. Okay, Rosario. Speaking at Comic Con Scotland, you have a Scottish accent for me?
I,
Speaking of
I have,
Comic Con Scotland,
speaking of Scotland,
Rosario Dawson shared. No, I'm not going to do her.
it's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I'm pretty proud. Conor McGregor. She had more of a strong gravitas. Oh, this is Rosario talking about Ahsoka. She had a more of a strong gravitas at the beginning, and she was a little bit more unflappable. I like that she's relaxing. She's kind of getting back to her joy. I think those moments with Hayden and Anakin were so important for her to heal something she could be more present. I kind of like this idea. We didn't really get to see like fun Ahsoka. Like the most fun she ever had, or the most like down to earth and like present moment she had was when she was with Grogu, right? But other than that, she was like super serious, always arguing with what's her name? Mandalorian girl. I hate when my brain does that. But
You're now I'm doing it.
we both did it. Hey, we're not allowed both to do it. Like when you do it,
Tom Cruise.
there, thank you. When I do it, I try to save you, but you didn't save me. But you saved me. Anyway, less snippy, back to more snips. I like this. I like it.
It's having her kind of like rekindle that snips, kind of like thing, because she has been a little more serious and like more projects lately, just because I mean, she's been through a lot, she's had to deal with a lot, she's had a lot less fun as a character, So it's nice to hear that she's kind of like jumping back into that.
Yeah, and plus she came back and she was in like her white robe. She's in her like Gandalf the White era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's at peace with things. She's good. She's gonna have fun, even though she's stuck in another universe or another galaxy or whatever.
Well, I mean, obviously we're going to see her get back. So
Spoiler alert. All right. From White Ahsoka to Green Lanterns. Green Lanterns get real. The Star of Lanterns, Aaron Pierre, says the Green Lantern Corps are extremely relatable because they embrace their flaws in a way that is beautiful. DC's Cosmic Cops are getting a grounded glow up. If kindness is punk rock, then vulnerability is the new superpower. And being a cocky space cop is 6'7".
oh, you are terrible. That was so cringe.
6'7".
That is so cringe. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's not that you're saying 6'7", right? It's the way you're saying 6'7". Like, anyways, 6'7". Okay.
Whoa.
Number one, I can't look at Aaron Pierre without like getting lost in his eyes. Number two,
Wait, hold on. Frank, clip that.
yeah, and we'll tag him in that too.
Just-
Aaron Pierre, I can't look at you without getting lost in your eyes. I'm sorry. It is a sea of green and gray, and it is beautiful. Anyways, no, I love that they're trying to make them relatable and that they're gonna have flaws. We already know that the Green Lanterns have flaws just because the way that they've already been portrayed within this universe. That bowl cut is a flaw. 100%.
431 chicks say it's not a flaw. I'll tell you that much.
No, 100% it is. But still, yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, we all know, I've said it in the past, I'm a massive Green Lantern fan. I know that Matt Aguilar, Mr. Swagular in the chat, I know he is also a big Green Lantern fan. Given that, and both me and him agree, our favorite Green Lantern's not going to be in the show because James Gunn has already said that he's not a fan of our favorite Green Lantern. My second favorite is John Stewart, and I think that Aaron Pierre is going to massively, in a good way, wreck this role. So, I mean, I think he's going to kill it. And he's he's a really good actor. And him playing John Stewart, I think he can convey that leadership and that gravitas that John Stewart is known for doing. And then I forgot the name of the actor, but the actor who's playing Hal Jordan, Kyle Chandler. He's got the comedy chops to be the snarky kind of, just kind of jackass that Hal Jordan is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that that James Gunn is swerving us and Kyle Rayner ends up in the end. I know he said that he doesn't like Kyle Rayner, but I think he also knows that we all love Kyle Rayner. So,
well, I mean, just like how it started with Hal Jordan, we just have to let the universe expand, right?
Yeah.
We got to let Hal be Hal and John be John, and what happens with them. Same thing with Guy. We just got to let it expand, and then we'll get to a Kyle. I mean, we haven't even gotten through one season of Lanterns yet, so just ease up, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like we already got Guy Gardner. We know Guy Gardner exists. We know that this show is going to be Hal Jordan and John Stewart. It's like you've got 3 of the 4 core Green Lanterns. Like, just he doesn't even have to be a lantern. Just kind of like introduce Kyle Rayner at the end or something like that.
All right, let's do a bet. What I love Green Lantern too, but who do we get first? Do we get Kyle Rayner or do we get Chip? Because my vote's Chip.
Oh no, we're gonna get Chip 100%. We're gonna get Chip. We're gonna get because we're gonna see parts of the Lantern Corps, right? We're gonna see Tomar Ray. I want to see another interpretation of Tomar Ray. He's such a good character. I think, again, and this is what we were saying before, I think by the end of the season, the coolest thing would be if they introduced the Manhunters, because that is another threat that could lead into a whole nother season.
And I could see James Gunn wanting to do that because honestly, you need a little bit of cannon fodder. You need something to beat up on
Right.
to show their strength. So bringing something like that, like the Manhunters back, like, oh, this is where we screwed up in the past. Sorry about that. Green Lanterns, go handle that. I could see them wanting to bring in the Manhunters, but they should bring in Chip. That's number one.
So the Manhunters come in, and Chip comes in, and they get surrounded by a bunch of Manhunters, and then Chip by himself comes in and just wrecks a whole bunch of them.
There you go. I like it.
There you go.
I like it.
For you, buddy. Let's go ahead.
Yeah, I can't. I bet we see Oa too. Yeah.
At least by the end of the series, it's supposed to be like a buddy cop thing at the for the premise of the show is supposed to be a buddy cop thing. So yeah. I think it won't be until like the season finale that we see them go to Oa.
Gotcha. All right, I got more DCU.
Let's do it.
You thought she was gone, but honey, she never left. James Gunn confirms Waller is still active in development at DC while Viola Davis is still leading. All right, okay. I'm glad. I'm actually really happy that they kept Viola Davis in this role.
Yes.
Leading into Peacemaker and plan to keep her. I really dig that. The show will follow what Waller has been up to during the events of DC Studios' Superman movie, the second season of Peacemaker, and the follow-up to Superman, Man of Tomorrow. The Superman sequel is due out in summer of 2027, so it looks like we will have to wait about 2 years for the Waller series. Amanda Waller don't play. Will she be after Peacemaker as well? Peacemaker is not doing well with friends.
I am all for this. I want to know what Amanda Waller has been up to since she got knocked out at the end of Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Because the first season of Peacemaker was like everybody's fallout to betraying Amanda Waller. And it's kind of like, that plus, they kind of halfway built the relationship between her and her daughter. We're already seeing ads kind of, become or like take in that leadership role, but just not be as much of a heinous bitch as her mom. And that's, I've been saying that on the show that I think that ads is going to be the Amanda Waller of Checkmate.
I could see that. I
think she's going to be the one that's running Checkmate, but again, less of a heinous bitch because her mom is kind of a monster. But at the same time, what I want to see is them kind of get into the backstory of Amanda Waller. I do want to see where she's been through all of this stuff in DC, but I do want them to kind of explain for the broader audience that she is a former special forces operative, that she has a lot of like combat experience, like hand-to-hand combat experience. And that's what kind of shapes why she's the way she is and why she's so callous and why she's such a, straightforward, get shit done kind of person, is because of her experience in special operations. And I don't know if they're going to go this far. It would be really cool to see them explore her relationship with Deathstroke, because they work together, not like relationship, like they weren't like together, but like, they worked really closely when they were in special forces. So it's like, kind of, that would be a cool, like flashback to Amanda Waller, and you get, Slade Wilson.
That would be a good way to introduce Deathstroke.
Yeah. And like you get this, her and Slade on a mission. That would be so dope.
That would be pretty cool. Now, she was also in Creature Commandos, so she has been in the new DCU. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where we saw Rick Flag Sr. and her connection with him, but they didn't say what happened after Creature Commandos and what's going to happen to Waller, because I think it kind of took place kind of like the same time, because she was still part of Argus.
Yeah.
But they also said you can't use humans or whatever like that.
Yeah, so, and at this point, Rick Flag Sr. has taken over her position.
Right.
So
Right.
it'd be kind of cool to see kind of like also the fallout between the two of them. Like maybe in the Waller show, they show her passing the torch and not being happy about it.
I don't think she's like in jail, but I think maybe she's heading up like another organization,
Mhm.
something like that, like AIM or something. Who knows? But yeah, glad they're still pushing forward with a Waller series.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep it going. Running Man? Nah, it's a runaway man. All right, James Gunn's DCU may be setting up Salvation Run as a major crossover event. According to a new report from Night Edge Media, DC Studios recently registered a copyright trademark for Salvation Run. So that's the studio that
Mhm.
put in the trademark for it. So any kind of show or filming rights, uh, DC Studios put the patent or put the copyright on that. Villains exiled to a hostile planet. Yes, please. DC's Rogues Gallery might finally get their own war story. Legions of villains fighting together. Will this story be the salvation for average DCU fans? I have some thoughts on this.
Please.
So I think it's too early
Mhm.
to get into Salvation Run because we've barely been introduced to any of the villains across the DCU. You know, we've seen X, and that's about it. You know, like I think we need to see some of these other rogues of some of these other villains in the normal world before they get thrown into Salvation, and then we do the Salvation Run story. Because the whole idea is you take all these criminals and throw them over there.
Right.
We need to know the stakes and the value or what it costs to take all these um villains off the streets and put them in another universe. And then what happens to Peacemaker?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So my thoughts on this. I think thus far, James Gunn has been really good about not talking down to the audience. So you have a lot of in past ventures, you have a lot of talking down to the audience and just like I have to hold your hand and I have to explain every character and everything like that. Well, we know the majority of these characters. We haven't seen them fleshed out in this universe yet, but we know the Joker. We know Lex Luthor. We know if you watch the shows and stuff, like a lot of the other TV shows, like we've been introduced to people like Catwoman and the Penguin and even Captain Cold to an extent. Like there are a lot of these characters have been introduced in other mediums, so I don't think he needs to reintroduce them in the universe in this universe. I think if he did Salvation Run, because he's already made references to other villains, like literally Lex Luthor talks about not Captain Dr. Phosphorus and Killer Croc supposedly hooking up in jail. You know, like it's there are all these things that they make references to characters, and if you know, if you don't, then you're more curious. I think that if they do Salvation Run, they're just going to introduce a lot of these characters in that show, and those are going to be more almost like Suicide Squad, right? Like you look at Suicide Squad, the movie, he introduced a crap ton of characters, and you didn't feel like there was you didn't get enough out of it. You didn't feel like I need more background on these characters. Like we got enough background on Polka Dot Man that we were happy with that. Same thing with Ratcatcher. Same thing with like all these characters in there. I think that they can do the same thing for Salvation Run and him just do it with more major villains. And with that being said, he also said that the big twist at the end of Salvation Run is probably not going to happen when they do Salvation Run, because he said that he's trying his hardest not to introduce the new gods just yet because he doesn't want to step on what Snyder did, because he actually said that he enjoyed what Zack Snyder did with the new gods, And he's like, I want to give myself a little bit of distance between then. So there's a big twist at the end of Salvation Run. Again, go read the book if you don't know what happens in it, or listen to previous episodes because we've talked about it. But there is a big twist at the end of Salvation Run that introduces the new gods. And, you know, James Gunn already said he's not going to be doing that. So that means we can focus on all of the villains that are going to be in this show. And if that's the case, I think he's going to Suicide Squad it. I think he's just going to introduce his versions of major villains on this planet, and then going forward, now you have all of these villains that you can use in different properties.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Or I could see this turning into, okay, we've gathered up a bunch of these villains, but we've thrown them in this other universe. But then the U.S. government finds it unconstitutional or something like that. So they end up having to release all these villains back into the world. And then it becomes like, all right, there you go. There you go, heroes. You have your villains to go after. Let's go make some content.
Right. Or somehow they just like half of these dudes are probably end up back in Blackgate. So it's, I mean, like, you know, they've already established a lot of these dudes are in Blackgate. So like, you know, either they all end up in Blackgate or they all end up back in
Belle Reeve.
In Blackgate, Belle Reeve, or back in Arkham. If they start going in that way, I wonder if they introduce Aaron Judge, just because Aaron Judge is a major character on like when it comes to the prison systems in DC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like he's one of the prison guards that, like, you know, everybody knows. So it'd be kind of cool to see Aaron Judge show up in this.
I like it. I like it. We'll have to see. I'm just interested because I'm surprised it went this direction so quickly.
Yeah.
With James Gunn and Peacemaker season 2. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But now let's keep it going. We got a few more stories to get through.
All right.
Creed goes to Miami. Michael B. Jordan is in early talks to star in Joseph Kosinski's Miami Vice movie at Universal Studios. High speed, high style, high stakes. The neon's about to get louder. Break out the shoulder pads. Michael B. Jordan, welcome to Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami.
Thank you for doing that.
Gracias. So I mean, this is the obvious, but we think he's playing Tubbs, right?
I mean, he could be Crockett. There's no, you know.
Honestly, there is nothing that says that he couldn't play Crockett.
He'd be cool either way. He'd be cool either way.
Yeah. Because I mean, like, you know, Don Johnson was a very handsome man, but I mean,
here's one. How about they make Michael B. Jordan Crockett, and then they get a Latino to play Tubbs? It's in Miami. Come on now. Come on now.
Right. I mean, but they also had Martin Castillo, right? So I mean, like, Martin Castillo could be that's your Latino dude. He's not definitely not as high profile as Crockett and Tubbs, but I think I do like your idea better. You know who we get to play Tubbs? Bad Bunny. There you go.
Bad Bunny.
He's a good actor now, man. He's been in a couple of different things.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to talk much. You know, he could do a Hurricane Rada off the top of a Lamborghini. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it.
Right? He's a good wrestler. Geek Freaks is saying Austin Butler is actually rumored to play Crockett right now.
That's pretty good.
Austin Butler after Dune, that dude can do no wrong.
Yeah. But honestly, that's too much sexy for one movie. Are you kidding me?
Austin Butler and Michael B. Jordan. That's just and those are like your quintessential, like, hot Miami dudes.
Yeah. You're gonna break some movie screens.
Yeah.
All right. I think that was it. Yeah. So we've explored the Upside Down, spilled a little blood, and booked our trip to Miami. But now it's time to slow the scroll. Let's zoom out and dig in. These are some stories shaping the fandom, stirring debate, and trending up.
That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's trend up. Let's talk about what's trending on the interwebs right now. Greenlit, then ghosted. Steven Soderbergh's The Hunt for Ben Solo was more than a pitch. It had a completed script. Adam Driver attached to Lucasfilm's full support. But Disney shut down the Star Wars sequel at the top level, reportedly over disbelief that Ben Solo could have survived the rise of Skywalker. Disney. Internally, Lucasfilm felt the story was sound, and Soderbergh confirmed this was the first time Disney rejected a finished Star Wars script. Fans didn't take the cancellation lying down. They rose up like the people of Ferrix and launched a full-scale campaign, flying a banner over Disney Studios and buying billboard space in Times Square, demanding the film be revived. The message: don't pretend to support fan favorite characters and redemption arcs if you're going to pull the plug when it counts. From scrapping redemption arcs to rejecting redemption deals, the studio shuffle continues over at Warner Brothers Discovery. So, moving into the next thing before we get into the discussion.
Yeah, I got comments on both, but
Yeah, I know. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers Discovery is navigating its own identity crisis. Paramount Skydance offered a staggering $60 billion to acquire Warner Brothers Discovery with 80% in cash, and even proposed to co-CEO role for David Zaslav in the merged company. But Warner Brothers Discovery's board rejected the offer, calling it too low, despite Zaslav potentially netting $500 million personally if the deal went through. The contradiction: Zaslav has publicly positioned Warner Brothers Discovery as a leaner, more focused studio post-merger, yet he's entertaining offers that would entrench his own power while destabilizing the brand. Fans of DC and HBO properties are left wondering, is this about building better content or consolidating control? The connective thread: fan trust versus studio strategy. Both stories expose a widening gap between what studios say they value, fan loyalty, creative innovation, legacy characters, and what their actions reveal: risk aversion, executive power plays, and a disregard for audience investment. Whether it's shelving a beloved redemption arc or rejecting a merger that could stabilize a flailing brand, the message to fans is clear. Your passion is marketable, but not always actionable. And fans are done playing passive. They're demanding accountability, and studios might finally have to listen. So, the overarching question that we have here: if fans are the true commodity in Hollywood, why are the studios ignoring what we want? James, give me all your thoughts.
So interesting. So interesting. Well, let's jump back to the Ben Solo movie.
Yeah.
I think Star Wars, like after this new trilogy came out, they were a massive ship sailing in the night without a rudder. I think they didn't know where to go. They had all these ideas, but then things didn't land, or the feedback that they were getting wasn't as well received as it should have been,
Mhm.
and they freaked out. And they were like, shut it down. Pretty much anything related to the new trilogy or sequel trilogy, let's cut it. Ben Solo, we still haven't seen the Rey movie. Apparently it's being made, but we still don't know exactly what's happening with that movie. But I think they were like, shut it all down. Let's figure out something else. And which led to Mandalorian, which led to Grogu. So I think they ended up righting the ship somehow. But it would have been cool. Would have been cool to see the hunt for Ben Solo. That would have been dope. But I don't know. Anyway, going over to the Warner Brothers and Paramount side of things. First off, holy cow. Where does Paramount get that kind of money to throw around like that?
I mean, they're owned by a billionaire, so.
And that is true. But everything that's happened with Warner Brothers over the last 2-3 years, we're like, what is Zaslav doing? Like, why does he keep cutting things? Why does he keep, shelving projects like the Looney Tunes stuff? I think now we're starting to find it out. I think he was trimming the fat, and you see this with a lot of companies. They trim the fat before it gets sold. So the product, it looks super streamlined. The budgets are a lot lower. I think all of that was because of this. All of it led to Zaslav and Warner Brothers being like, somebody buy us. Somebody buy us. We want to get out of this, and somebody buy us. So I think now we're figuring it all out. So what do you think about all this? What do you think about Ben Solo, Warner Brothers, Paramount Plus having $60 billion to throw at a competitor?
This really does kind of get down to the thing that really angers me about what the studios are doing and the way that they think about things. Like they really don't care about what the fans actually want. They're still on this old school power trip that is, we give you what we think you want and you just enjoy it, right?
Mhm.
As of right now, the studios that are kind of proving that they are just shitting all over what all these major studios are doing are the anime studios.
How so?
If you look at what's happening with that, right? They're taking something that originally was not something that was considered profitable, that was not considered something that you would want in theaters, and they're saying, "Hey, like Demon Slayer just did it right now. Like, hey, let's take the last season of this show and let's just make it into 3 movies and put them in theaters and just see how it does." And now Demon Slayer is one of the highest grossing movies in the country.
I think it's the highest grossing, what was it, foreign film or international film or something like that?
Yeah. So like you have that, right? And then on top of that, Chainsaw Man just released the movie this weekend, and that's killing it right now. And it's
Mhm.
like, it's you talk about something that a demographic that understands its fan base and is giving its fans what it wants, right? Versus you look at what the big majors are doing right now, what all the big studios are doing right now, and it's like, okay, you guys are learning some of your lessons, you're figuring some stuff out, like, it's this, but a lot of it is also we're afraid to pull the trigger on things, right? Disney is the biggest example of we are afraid to pull the trigger on things that people want, because what we want, as fans, what we want is good movies that are well written, right? We want new property for the most part. The majority of people want just new things. We don't need to relitigate all of the old movies that are out there, right? Hey, I know you're going to disagree with me on this, James, but hey, we're going to take Moana and make it live action. Hey, we're going to take Lilo and Stitch and make it live action. Hey, we're going to take Frozen and we're going to make it live action. Right now, they're talking about making live action Rapunzel, right? Like, that's not what we want. New interpretations are fine. That's fun and whatnot, but that's not the majority of what we want. Like fans, you think I talked about this last week. They think that we're tired of superhero movies. And what I was talking about last week is we're not tired of superhero movies. We're tired of shit writing. We're
Mm.
tired of you taking a trope and leaning on that trope. Right now, they're talking about multiverse fatigue, right? Because they're going to find every kind of fatigue that they can find. That's bullshit, because Invincible made one of the best multiverse things on TV, and in a single episode, right? DC just did really good multiverse stuff,
Mhm.
right? They are doing really good stuff with the multiverse that doesn't feel trite and convoluted and played out, because they're using it as a part of the story versus a crutch for the story. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where, like, where Marvel has dropped the ball, is relying on it rather than telling a good story that happens to have these elements in it, right? And focusing on a good story. You want to know where there's a good example of that? Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine may not have been may not have had the best, like, A+ story that was in there, but it gave us everything we wanted. Right? The comedy was there, the buddy cop atmosphere was there. We got a version of Wolverine that everybody's been waiting for. We got the Council of Wades. We got so many different elements that people wanted without it feeling like it was too much. You know what I mean? And it made a buttload of money, right? My issue right now, and this is leading back to the point, my issue right now is Disney saying, and I understand where they're saying is, well, Ben Solo died. Okay, it's not like you can't write a version of something that brings that in. You decided in that same exact movie to bring back fucking Palpatine.
Yeah, it's one line.
Yeah, you that had no explanation and still hasn't had any explanation, and now you're passing that off to Filoni to fix, right? Which, knowing Filoni, he's gonna fix that, and it's gonna be fucking great because Filoni understands good story.
I agree.
Can you make my shirt live action? I know. I need to get you your shirt.
I agree with a lot of what you're saying, but I will say, keep Lilo and Stitch out your mouth if you're gonna talk smack about Lilo and Stitch.
No. It's not about Lilo and Stitch itself. It's about the overall concept of, let's remake something that we've already made, right? I don't need, as much as I enjoyed that movie. I did. I'm not taking that away, and I guarantee I'm going to enjoy the Moana movie, right? It's not that I'm not going to enjoy these movies, but at the same time, it feels like you guys are creatively bankrupt and you do not know how to create new stories. And I've said this in the past, they do not take risks and they're afraid to take risks. Whereas Walt Disney built an entire company on risking things, on creative ventures that you do well. Snow White is an example. Mary Poppins is an example. All of these things.
Mary fucking Poppins.
Yeah, he made so many creative risks that all paid off in the end because he believed in the product, he believed in the storytelling, he believed in what it was. And Disney has fallen to the wayside of that. They have lost that thread. And now it's like, okay, we did creative things in the past, but we're so afraid to lose money because that's all we care about now. Yeah. That's all we care about is money at this point. We're so afraid. And again, I've said this in the past as well. They're not losing money. They're just not making as much money as they did last year. Right? Oh, we're not making the shareholders as much money. When you prioritize shareholders and profits over the fandom is not going to pay you back.
Right.
The focus should always be on the fans. The focus should always be on creating things that make people want to go to the theaters.
I think some of these bigger companies, Disney, Warner Brothers, they forgot what it's like to just make something that's good for a pocket of people. It's like they can't put money behind something that's niche, like Demon Slayer. Like that's such a good example of like, here's something that just works. We don't know why it works because we're too fucking old to understand why it works, but it works. Just like K-pop Demon Hunters, it works, and we didn't know it was gonna work, but it just, way to go, Sony. It just
Sony
worked.
making the biggest mistake of their fucking entire. Well, they've made big mistakes, but I mean, making a huge mistake. Like, and again, I fear that these studios are going to learn the wrong lessons with this. Guarantee in the next year, one of the studios is going to try and make a live action Demon Hunters movie or Demon Slayers movie. Guarantee it, because they're going to be like, Demon Slayers makes money. Let's go and make a live action one. That's not the lesson you should be learning.
Oh my gosh. Isn't Demon Slayer on Hulu, which is owned by Disney?
It's on Hulu, it's on Netflix, but it's not owned by those.
Right.
Crunchyroll runs that.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, same thing with Chainsaw Man. Like, and Netflix has been trying to do that and failing. Let's make live action anime, and it's because they fall away from the plot. They want to go and recreate something, and it's like, do what Marvel did in the beginning. right?
Mhm.
I'm okay with you changing storylines. I'm okay with you changing things as long as it's still in the same vein of the source material. As long as it's something that still lives in that it still exudes what we love about that property, right? Do not go and make something just because you want to make money off of it and assume that the fan base is going to go see it when you decided to change everything about it. Because by the time X-Men is in my example where I talk about the X-Men movies a lot and how much I don't enjoy those movies, is because I said it in the past. X-Men as a franchise was a bunch of movies about mutants that tangentially shared the same name and characters, but they weren't X-Men movies. You know,
I can see what you're saying, but I feel like we had to have those X-Men movies in whatever fashion they were in order to get to the MCU.
no,
You know?
and I wholeheartedly agree with that. But what I'm saying is that's an example of, okay, we need to change everything in order to make it something that the audiences will enjoy. But in the end, you know what the audiences enjoyed the most was Wolverine in the yellow fucking suit. They thought
Yeah.
it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It's all of these things. You know how infinitely excited we are when we're hearing that we're gonna get Jim Lee's version of the X-Men on screen.
That's a good point.
You
Super
know,
excited about that.
like how excited we are. Like I might just go watch that movie just because we're getting Jim Lee's X-Men on screen. Right. And again, going back to Star Wars, like, okay, that they added Palpatine into episode 9, and they're talking about, oh, well, he died in that movie. Okay, it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Clones exist, back to tanks exist. Rey has force healing.
Yeah. Hey, remember, these are imaginary space wizards, you
Right.
know?
Rey can heal you with the force. Darth Maul came back after being cut in half. There are explanations to bring back any character. And if all of the people on the production side thought that it was a good movie, but Disney was like, no, we're not with this. Iger was like, I don't think this would be plausible. How would you bring Ben Solo back? It's in the fucking script.
We wrote it for you.
So yeah, Luke had a clone, exactly. And I do agree with Say Wong on some things. I know Filoni's been kind of making his way back to this, but using some of the Legends plot lines that do work. Not everything in Legends works. I'm sorry, everybody out there. I know everybody's pissed off about like, oh, well, they just should have used everything in Star Wars Legends. No, not everything in Star Wars Legends works. Okay. As much as everybody loves a lot of the things in Star Wars Legends, there are some fucking stupid things in Legends. But there are really good plot lines in Star Wars Legends that you can learn from and use, which we're literally getting to use on Vogue. We know that that's happening. Right? We know that I am pretty sure it's happening. They just established a bunch of lore that is related to the Yuzan Bog in the end of Ahsoka season 1. So we may not get it in Ahsoka season 2, but they established that the environments that they come from exist.
Yeah.
So we can get the Yuzan Bog in the future. There are so many things in Star Wars that Filoni has been taking because he's admitted that he loves a lot of the things in Legends. There are a lot of things that he is starting to move over. I'm waiting because he said that he loves Mara Jade. I'm waiting for him to find a way to bring Mara Jade into this.
We nailed it. Sadie Sink in Marvel is going to
Oh
be.
my god! Maybe Sink as Mara Jade, and they find somebody who can play a young Luke Skywalker, and that's a relationship they had in between him taking Grogu on as a protege, which was very short lived, to the point where Ben kills everybody. Right in between there's going to be this budding relationship with Luke, and as much as everybody's tired of Luke, I think everybody wants to see Luke and Mara Jade together. That's something that everybody wants.
It's like that's the last piece we want to see from like the original trilogy stories. Like in the expanded universe. Like, just give us Mara Jade, and then you can do whatever you want. You know, we already got Thrawn. We're happy. Let's see what else happens. Okay, let's get back to Warner Brothers though. So this whole Zaslav thing being sold, or Warner Brothers being sold to Paramount. Did you even know this was trying to happen? I
Yeah,
didn't know this was trying to happen.
I knew about this, and the first thing that came to mind for me was, isn't this against FCC protocols as far as like monopolization? They've been trying to block stuff like this forever because they don't want monopolies, right? They want competition in the in the industry, but allowing Paramount to purchase Warner Brothers Discovery is like, that is against everything that the FCC has fought for the last 30 years.
Hold on. This is like Disney buying Fox sort of deal. Like, it's huge, it's big, but it's not saying it hasn't been done before.
No, but the thing is that Warner Brothers and Discovery already had a merger that already like went through a lot of turmoil. That was like, oh well, you know, we may not let this happen. It's not supposed to happen. We can't let it happen. Finally, they let it happen, and now Paramount's talking about buying it. And if you, I don't want to get into politics on this at all. I really do not. I do not want to talk politics on this show at all. But I think a lot of this also, the allowance of this happening has to do with the new CEO of Paramount positioning himself, and I think the FCC, current FCC in its state, is just doing him favors because he's doing favors for them. I think there's a lot more implication on the back end, and I am not for this. Just being somebody who it's all money grabs for all of them. None of these people give two shits about entertainment. They care about entertainment is a mode for us to make money. And if I can merge all of these properties together, I'll make more money. And that's the way they look at it. And that, as for me, as a fan of cinema, as a fan of storytelling, I feel like that is just when your motivation becomes money over making good properties. I feel like your mindset is in the wrong place.
That's why I like The Studio. I don't know if you watched The Studio.
Oh yeah, The Studio was perfect. The Studio was a perfect example of you know, kind of them telling that story and what's the word I'm looking for? They not sarcasm, the satire is the word I'm looking for. It's a satire on the state of the industry and what the industry is.
Right.
It is a perfect encapsulation of what is happening.
But what I liked about it is the Seth Rogen head of studio character still wanted to make good things. He still wanted to make art in cinema, and he still wanted to put out beautiful movies.
But then he
screwed it up all the time, but that's
fine.
He
had to make Kool-Aid the movie, so
yeah. But like, that's what I want like Brothers or Paramount to be, but it's not like that. It's all money. It's more about the Excel spreadsheets, and is something going to make money, not make money. And you can even tell, like, going back to Disney, like thinking about Marvel, thinking about, say, Thunderbolts, and how overall people were happy with it, and people were like, this is refreshing. You know, we finally get a movie that after a couple duds that didn't feel like they connected, Thunderbolts connected with us. But, you know, when it comes to the spreadsheets, oh, that movie failed, you know?
Well, it's the same thing with Superman. It's the same thing with Superman. Like the Warner Brothers didn't make the amount of money that they wanted on there, but creatively, it is 100% something that people love.
Yeah, and that's some bull. That is some bull. Like, there is exponential growth when it comes to, like, Superman never flopped. It may on paper didn't say you made money, but it established a foundation for the DCU that you can build off of, and you're building off of right now. So don't tell me it was a flop.
Yeah, it wasn't. It 100% wasn't, and that's the whole thing is like it didn't make as much money as they wanted it to, but it still made a good amount of money. The thing is that streaming numbers is absolutely ridiculous. It is like one of the highest streaming things out there right now. One of the big issues with that is, again, you have a lot of the anti-Snyder, not anti-Snyder, the anti-gun guys online that are upset and talking about like, oh yeah, well, it didn't make this and it didn't do this and it's not doing this and these numbers are not that great. They're talking about don't use the excuse that people aren't going to the movies. Well, they're not, because tickets are exponentially higher than they ever were. Snacks are super expensive when you can go and wait for it to come on TV. COVID messed everybody up because now everybody's willing to wait for it to hit streaming, especially because everybody has decent TVs, decent home theater systems. I can just watch it at home, and I can pause it to go to the bathroom. I don't have to. I don't have to walk out of the theater to go pee and miss like a scene to where I have to go watch the movie again. You know, people wait for it to hit streaming, and especially when they know, like, look how fast Superman hit streaming. They know it's coming, so why spend the money and why wait?
Yeah, like 2.5 months, something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I mean, that's the thing, is that of course it's not going to make as much money, and then the argument they make is, well, look at Demon Slayer. Well, Demon Slayer's a different thing because we don't know when that's coming, when that's going to hit streaming.
Yeah, and any money that makes in the theaters, it's like good for them.
Yeah.
Whether it was going to make all the money back or triple X, whatever it is going to be, it doesn't matter. It's like, good, you made it to theaters, Demon Slayer. That's probably a bigger accomplishment than whatever you're going to make in the theater. Same thing with K-pop Demon Hunters. You made the demand and you got put in theaters. I think that's the win.
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters was according to Sony was never going to be something that was supposed to go to the theaters.
Right.
And then it went to the theaters and it fucking killed it.
Yeah.
And deserving is all shit because it is a amazing property.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think we've said big movie studios bad enough. Yeah. But okay, let's keep it going. We've gone stranged, talked cosmic cops, and went deep for the trend up. Let's wrap this up with a Geekend update where cosplay goes to the ball and the pop culture pulse goes live.
Oh yeah.
All right. Upcoming, we got Fan Expo coming November 28th, 29th, and 30th in San Francisco at the Moscone Center. We're working on that. We'll figure out who's going to. I know I can't go because that is Black Friday, Thanksgiving weekend. I don't know what. How are y'all at cons hanging out? I got 3 little kids. I can't just up and leave for a con when they're all at home. Hopped up on pumpkin pie. How you guys breaking away from cons?
We're not breaking away from cons. We're just going to more and more cons as it is. As of right now, Fan Expo, man, I'm really kind of excited about this.
You've done a lot of cons, and I understand you want to go to Fan Expo, but we sacrifice a lot of family time, a lot of weekends to do cons. And this is Thanksgiving weekend. If you don't go to Fandom Con or Fan Expo, I think you're okay. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, I know. I mean, again, it's a lot of it is part of it is the coverage. I actually enjoy lately. I've been enjoying going to shows that we are doing press coverage for. And like last weekend, was it last weekend? Yeah. Halloween, Sinister Halloween Con. I had so much fun doing photography and not like being on stage. there was just something about that just it stood out as a different level of experience for me.
Right. You got to just enjoy the con as like a fan.
Right, because I mean, I was working, but I wasn't like, I wasn't working.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
Like,
get
even at LA Comic-Con, it's like, I'm trying to find interviews, I'm meeting indie creators, trying to book, we are literally booked out until January for shows for guests right now. And it's
Wow.
yeah, and it's like, it's doing that work so that way we can continue on doing, promoting other people and interviewing small creators um over the course of the year. But like going to Sinister Creature Con was like an entirely different experience because I was able to look at like I instead of looking for like, oh, who's the next interesting person I could talk to, it's, oh, look at this cosplay. Let me take a picture of your cosplay. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
just it was so much fun to just go at that level rather than going as somebody who's working the con.
I totally know what you mean because when we go to cons normally, like when we're working with Colossus Girl, like I'm walking through the cons or like Gem State Comic Con and I see cosplay or I see vendors, but like my mind is focused on doing something else. The next, stage interview,
Right.
who's getting the next guest for the panels, that sort of thing. Like what's happening, blah blah blah. So I totally agree that attending a con is kind of fun. Actually, the last time I went to was it SAC Anime? I think it was SAC Anime or SAC Expo. I just attended as a fan. I brought the kids and it was fun and I got to let them have cosplay and let them have fun and
Yeah.
check out all the vendors and so it was cool letting them kind of experience a con. So I totally agree. But you're doing more than cons, right? What else you got going on? Show me your fangs. Show me those
Show me
fangs.
my things. I actually didn't set that up because we didn't have it in set up in the rundown. But yes, this weekend we did a whole bunch of us. We did attend the Vampire Ball here in Sacramento at Harlow's. That was actually a lot of fun. We all dressed up as vampires. So it was myself, Sackpool, Loose Arrow, and the DeLongs, and we all dressed up as a bunch of vampires. And it was a lot of fun.
Where did you get all your clothing? I saw some pictures, some red jackets, and you guys were very fancy.
So me, I parts of it were Amazon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
parts of it were I just like stole stuff from like suits that I already have.
Yeah. Okay.
The goal if we're gonna do a vamp because we pretty much go to the Vampire Ball every year now. The goal is I'm gonna be buying pieces of the costume every year until I get a full Victorian like costume, like vampire costume.
Nice. Now, how did this differ from like cosplaying at a con? Like, what is the difference in the vibe going from like a Comic Con to say this because it's a completely separate type of event.
Yeah, it was themed, right? So I mean, like the whole thing is you're going in with a vampire theme. So all of us are pretty much just dressing up as different types of vampires. And it was fun. It was really fun to see kind of what everybody's interpretation of what they think a vampire is.
Hmm. So what was going on? Where there was music playing? Was
So there's music, there's a burlesque show.
oh hello.
I know, right? So not for your kids. But
Don't bury the lead. Excuse me.
but there were like vendors there and stuff like that, like people selling like soaps and like
Oh,
stickers and shirts and stuff like that. It's like a whole little vendor section. They have like vampire themed drinks. They had snackies all over the place. There's two different areas, so there's like DJs upstairs and live bands downstairs.
oh, that's fun.
So it was kind of cool. And just again, just kind of like bars everywhere.
This is all in Harlow's. That's impressive.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, man.
I like that. That's good. I wonder. I wonder if the promoter puts on other types of shows more than just vampire balls.
Yeah, I'm sure she does multiple shows. I think she's also a promoter for Sinister Creature Con. So,
Mhm. Maybe werewolf birthday parties.
oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Where, the mummy themed pub crawl.
Yeah, invisible man bat mitzvahs. I don't know, something.
So that's like a bat mitzvah where nobody shows up.
Oh, that's sad. Saddest bat mitzvah ever. Well, I'm glad you had fun. That was good. That's good.
It's Frankenstein themed cotillion.
Cotillion. I can't think of any other a Frankenstein quinceañera.
Bride of Frankenstein quinceañera.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's what it is.
Oh no, Creature from the Black Lagoon quinceañera. There you go.
There you go. So you didn't have a distance nerding shirt on at the vampire ball? Come on, man.
No, because I was dressed as a Victorian vampire. Why would I wear a distance nerding shirt?
I'll tell you what, you can wear a distance nerding shirt to the next vampire ball because they're $20 and we got merch, people.
We got merch, people.
We got merch, vampires. How about that?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Somebody fix that in post. Anyway, and so can you DM us at Distance Nerding on Instagram? Let us know what shirt you're looking for. We got the logo shirt. We got the character shirt. They're $20, 25 if we have to ship it to you. Totally okay. Normally, Philippe has those at the cons that he's hosting, but he didn't bring them to the vampire ball. Unless you did, I don't know.
Yeah, we brought a whole box, just like
just walking around with a box.
Exactly. We had to make sure there was an Igor with us, and he was carrying all the boxes.
There you go. That'd be fun. So again, shirts are 20, 25. If we got to ship it to you, if it's in Florida, I don't know what it's going to cost. Maybe it's going to cost you $50 and an alligator leg. Who knows?
Yeah, $420 plus alligator nuggets.
There, alligator nuggets.
Have you never had alligator nuggets? Oh,
have you never had alligator nuggets? Who has alligator nuggets around here?
Oh, good. Nah, I've been to a couple restaurants where they like ship them in.
You don't go to Arby's and say, "Hi, can I have your 6-piece alligator nugget?"
Yeah, in Florida you can.
Can you? Really?
I'm sure you can.
Vampires, man, eating alligator. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? We got a schedule. What else we got?
Ladies and gentlemen, on Tuesdays, all the nerdy news on the Distance Nerding podcast, 6:30 to 8:30. We are doing our thing, having our fun on our show on Tuesdays. Thursdays, The Build from 6 to 8. Now, this week, our guest, let's see, who do we have on this week? This week, our guest is, Nick Edwards. He has a horror-themed comic book. And we're going to be talking about his book and everything that's going on there. Now, Fridays, we typically do the buzzer. It's game night from 6:30 to 8:30. This week, we are not going to be doing the buzzer because it's Halloween and we're all respectively giving out candy. So,
I like it.
Yeah, so we won't be doing the buzzer this week, but next week, the buzzer is back, and I believe we're playing Well Really. So, join in on all the fun. Have fun with us, guys. It's gonna be a good time, as it always is. With that being said, James, do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about?
I mean, if you haven't yet, time to subscribe to Distance Nerding on YouTube. So just go to YouTube, search Distance Nerding. We're there. Hit the subscribe button. It helps. Believe it or not, it helps.
It actually does. 100%.
If you have a ghost account, if you have an account that you use for your dating apps, fine. Just also subscribe on your dating apps to at Distance Nerding on YouTube. Come on now.
Yeah, actually, it's a really good point.
We won't tell. We don't have to say anything.
You can find us on all of the dating places like Christian Mingle and OnlyFans. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to support the show, the best way to do it is to head over to distancenerding.com. Head up to the top of the page. Hit that big blue button that says Buy Some Taco. That's right. You can join the taco party. Let me get to the button. Join the taco party. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Join the taco party. It is the best way to support Distance Nerding, and it helps us get better prizes, bigger prizes, makes us go to more shows. I know that a lot of our prizes have reached a lot of the winners. from the last giveaway. The next goal, guys, we want to give away more stuff. So, James, what do you think our next goal should be?
It's 600 subscribers on YouTube. I think we're at like 530 something. That's you know what? There's a couple things we got to talk about. So one, 600 subscribers on YouTube. Let's do it. Get us there. We'll give stuff away. We were talking to Kyber Cave. We're going to work out some deals with Kyber Cave. Maybe we're going to give away some lightsabers. I'm just throwing it out there. Also, right around the corner, we're on episode 247. Episode 250 is almost here. It is time to celebrate, y'all.
That's right. Episode 250 is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. So maybe we'll give away some prizes on episode 250.
I like it. We're going to give away maybe some merch, maybe some Lego, maybe some tacos. We should give away tacos.
That would be kind of cool. You know what we could do too? The next event we got going on, ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday. Oh, he got littles with him. This Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the Sacramento area, make your way over to Jackrabbit Brewery from 4 to 7. We're going to be doing trivia.
Ooh, thanks to Sack Geeks. I like this.
Sack Geek shout out. We're going to be giving away prizes. There's going to be a charity tap. It is going to be a whole lot of fun. I know it's the day after Halloween, but we're going to be doing horror trivia. I've made some horror questions, and we're going to do some specific horror trivia. So, ladies and gentlemen, make your way over to Jackrabbit Brewery in West Sacramento this Saturday, November 1st, between 4 and 7, and get in on some trivia and win some prizes.
There you go. And honestly, it's a family-friendly event. Jackrabbit's great to go hang out with your family. They got lots of board games, lots of room. They usually have food trucks. I think I don't know which one's going to be there, but I think they have one, maybe two food trucks there for the trivia event. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be tons of prizes.
That's right. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. We're going to be giving away all kinds of things. Maybe we'll have some shirts to throw at people, literally throwing them at people. We're going to have a good time, guys. So with that being said, have something you want to discuss? Connect with us on all the social media places at Distance Nerding. Or, of course, if you would like us to read your email on air, you can send us an email. And whatever it is you send us, we'll read it as long as it's not super weird. At distancenerding@aol.com. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, James, take us out.
Thanks, everybody. And especially thanks, Frey girl, who's having the night off. But thanks for the $4.99 super chat. That's another way you can support us is via super chat.
That's right.
On YouTube.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, with the super chat, if you super chat us, and this is just for everybody listening, but if you're watching live and you super chat us, we will say it on the site live on air. So there we go.
There you go. We should put a tally in. See if you super chat, whatever giveaway we're gonna get entered into, you're entered into. I like it. Frey, you're entered in it. Giveaways. I like it.
All right.
Whatever Phil stuff we can give away, we're gonna give away, and you're entered in. Thank you.
All of my stuff. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. All right, everybody. Thanks, and keep nerding together.
That's right. And of course, it's the end of the show. Bruce, it's past your bedtime, buddy. Go to sleep, buddy. It's time. Time to go to bed. We love you, buddy, but go to sleep. All right.
Okay,
One more time, James. One more time.
Go to sleep.
No, I just got here.
You ain't got teeth. Go to sleep.
No.
It's a toothless Kaya.
Got here. I just got here.
Oh, speaking of BooBoos, look at that.
Look at
I just got here.
LaBoo.
I just
All right,
got
time to go. We're gonna get off. We're gonna go eat some tacos.
One more time. Send us out, James.
Thanks, and keep nerding together.
See everybody on the next one.
Distance Nerding.
Sorry, wrong one.
Distance Nerding.